WWE Payback is this weekend, and it might be a little soon for predictions, seeing that not all of the matches might be on the card yet. We haven't heard anything about like an Uso versus Uso match, but this is the time that I have, and if something like that happens, I'll give you a little update. But for now, we're gonna go with the card that there is. Before I get going on my predictions, as always, please make sure you hit that like button, subscribe, and tap the bell for notifications to make sure that you're notified every time I release a new video. My time is super limited. I'm still trying so hard to get more content out, but I am still working a full-time job. The more that you support me, the more that I'll be able to do this, and I do love it. I had said in a previous video that I actually did go to WWE SummerSlam. I feel like we've had so many pay-per-views in such a short period of time with, AEW All In and All Out coming up. There's just been a lot going on. But I think this card is actually shaping up to be really decent. First, we're going to talk about the undisputed WWE Tag Team Championship match against Kevin Owens, Sami Zayn versus the Judgment Day, Damian Priest and Finn Balor. Right off the bat, I do think that Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn have been holding the titles a little too long. I'm not understanding why the titles are not split yet, why they're still red and blue, what they're doing. I know Kevin was just out on injury and came back, but I was hoping for, something a little more from the two of them. I'd hate for them to lose their momentum and fade into the background once they lose the titles. That being said, with the discord that's happening between Finn Balor and Damian Priest, I think it's highly unlikely that they're even going to win the titles or they're going to win the match. I believe that maybe there'll be some kind of interference between JD McDonough. Maybe we'll finally have a split in the Judgment Day that will lead to a match at Survivor Series. Now, as far as who does what to cause that rift, I'm not really sure. But for right now, I think that the tag titles might be safe on Kevin and Sami. I would really like some new belts though. The Miz versus LA Knight. Yeah, I've really been into this feud. The Miz is one of the best to ever do it. He's phenomenal on the mic. I'm having a hard time deciding who I really want to root for. People will say everything that they're going to say about LA Knight. It's inevitable. He's a stone cold copy. He's a copy of The Rock. I constantly say that there is no original work within the world at all. Everything is influenced by something else. The thing is, you have to be able to do it and do it well. LA Knight is doing it well. And to be able to resonate with an audience the way that he does in 2023 is no easy feat. There's only a few professional wrestlers that have been able to do it at the level that he's been able to do it, and I don't think it's fair to discredit that just by comparing him to somebody else. As far as the match goes, I think it's LA Knight's turn to win. I think it's LA Knight's turn to come out on top. I've said before that anyone worth their salt goes through The Miz first before they get anywhere else. The Miz is great at elevating talent. People like to say that The Miz is underrated. I wouldn't say that The Miz is necessarily underrated because people recognize how great he is. Not everyone has to be in the title picture all the time in order to be great, and Miz is a great testament to that. But I am thinking it's LA Knight's time. LA Knight Mania. Yeah. The match I don't want to see. The match I really don't care to see. We've got Rey Mysterio and Austin Theory for the United States Championship. I was super happy when Rey Mysterio got the championship off of Austin Theory. I felt like everything that Austin Theory was doing was growing a little bit stale. Now, I love Austin Theory. Austin Theory is definitely the future of the business. He is phenomenal. I just wasn't into wherever they were trying to take him. Now, are they going to put the title back on Theory? It's possible. What I could possibly see happening is maybe a Santos Escobar heel turn in some way, some kind of interference. Maybe they'll take that route. I'm not completely sure what I expect to happen. Rey Mysterio hasn't really had the title for that long. I do think he should hold on to it for a little bit longer. So we are going to say that Rey is keeping the title, but I don't know. Trish Stratus versus Becky Lynch in the steel cage match. Maybe we're finally going to have a conclusion. I don't know. I feel awful because I have been really down on women's wrestling lately, and I don't want to go into this match being very negative. Trish Stratus and Becky Lynch both are phenomenal. The fact that this is a steel cage match really ups the ante for me, and it makes me a lot more interested and invested. But when I'm seeing them cut promos on Raw, it feels very long-winded. I'm tired of seeing it. I'm not as invested as I could have been if they had just ended the story at SummerSlam. I have a feeling that they're gonna pull a fast one. It's going to be a good match. I'm hoping so. I don't know if there's gonna be any swerves or turns or interference like that. I think it's just gonna be a clean ending, and then maybe Trish can fade off into the sunset and we can give Zoe Stark another direction. I think Becky Lynch is gonna take the W on this one. All right, finally, Women's World Championship. Rhea Ripley versus Raquel Rodriguez. I have been saying that I want Rhea Ripley to have a feud for this dang title, and I want her to actually have a credible feud. I don't know that the build for this was actually really that great, but I am excited to see Rhea going up against someone at her strength level at her size that could possibly win the title, at least through a viewer's eyes. I think that Rhea is going to continue to carry the title, but I hope that either they continue this feud in a different way or they put Rhea back in a feud with somebody else. Her doing these kind of one-off matches with people and them not going anywhere is growing a little tiresome for me. I really want some credible feuds for her. But I do think we are going to see Rhea Ripley continue on with that title. The surprise that I didn't know I needed: the World Heavyweight Championship match against Seth Rollins and Shinsuke Nakamura. I have thought for the longest time that Shinsuke has not been utilized properly, and I mean that with every fiber of my being. He has deserved so much more than he has been given in his time in WWE, and I think that they just didn't really know where exactly to place him. Placing him with Seth Rollins was probably one of the smartest things at this moment that they could have done. Placing him in the promo videos that they have in his native language was a very smart move. I'm very invested in it. It feels like a different Nakamura. It feels like a dangerous Nakamura, but it was very sudden. I feel like because it was very sudden that I don't see Nakamura winning the title. In a way, I would be okay with it. I would be okay with Nakamura holding the title and carrying on a feud with Seth, but I'm wondering if Seth might be on the way to take a break. I'm not totally sure. For right now, I am saying that Rollins is going to continue his reign. Maybe Nakamura and him do continue their feud moving forward, and maybe Nakamura does eventually take the title off of him. I don't know how y'all would feel about a rematch at Survivor Series, but I wouldn't be totally against it, where Shinsuke maybe does win the title at that time. Give the feud a little more build and get us a little more invested in it. All right, that is the card as of today, August 29th. If we have any updates, I definitely will give like a little update video on either Instagram or TikTok, but for now, those are my predictions. Let me know what you think in the comments. We will be streaming WWE Payback live on Twitch Saturday, September 2nd at 8 p.m. Eastern at twitch.tv/WheezyBlonde. Make good choices, kids.